Welcome back to my channel. Today, we continue to follow the deeply emotional journey of love between CEO James and Diep. In the last episode, many of you will recall the heartbreaking moment when Diep almost crossed paths with James. Just a fleeting glance, through the pouring rain, that made it feel as though they were destined to lose each other forever. Yet somehow, their love found its way back. The ending was filled with bliss, but the story doesn't stop there. In today's video, we'll unravel the journey they had to take to reunite, reminding us that true love, no matter how distant, will always find its way home. What were the hidden emotions, misunderstandings, moments of weakness, and the unshakable determination that brought them back together? Let's dive deep into every emotional twist and turn of their journey. Sometimes, it's the smallest, most fleeting moments that shift the course of our lives. They become turning points, guiding two souls toward one another once again. And perhaps, ahead of them, there are still more challenges, choices, and twists to face. They once lost each other, drifted apart, but when love is strong enough, it always finds a way back. The unseen moments. Diep knew her home was not far now, but her legs ached from the long walk. Each step felt heavier. Her shoes soaked through from the rain. She pulled her thin jacket over her head and glanced at the sky. Faint rays of sunlight broke through the gray clouds, casting a soft glow on the path ahead. She realized that at this pace, she wouldn't make it home before nightfall. Worse still, her pockets were nearly empty. Every thought of James, somewhere out there, waiting for her, made her heart tighten with urgency. But as much as she longed to run to him, she knew she needed money, at least enough to catch a ride or grab a bite to eat. Determined, Diep took a narrow path beside the rice fields, hoping for any opportunity to earn a little money. She spotted an elderly farmer harvesting corn, with sacks of it stacked nearby. Approaching him, she politely asked if he needed help. The farmer was surprised but saw the steady, respectful look in her tired eyes. After a moment's thought, he nodded, offering her a chance to pick corn. Diep accepted immediately, unbothered by the work. She spent the afternoon with the farmer, the cornstalks towering over her, her hands working relentlessly. With each ear of corn she picked, she whispered to herself, "I'm getting closer to James." Just a little more. As the sun dipped behind the hills, the work was done. The farmer handed her a small wage, enough to get home. Diep's eyes brimmed with gratitude, not just for the money, but for the kindness shown when she needed it most. In life's harshest moments, goodness still finds its way to those who refuse to give up. Hope against the odds. With the money in her hand, Diep clenched her fist, reaffirming her resolve. This journey will end in a reunion. And this time, I won't miss it. She could feel the weight lifting off her shoulders as she realized that time was running out. James might be waiting, his heart heavy with worry. Every second passing only made her more restless. As she scanned the road, she spotted a motorbike taxi driver. Her hope was reignited as she walked over and asked, "How much to get to Area A?" The driver gave her a brief once-over before replying curtly, 500,000. Diep's heart sank. She had only a little over 100,000, but she desperately needed to get home. She explained, asking for help. After a brief pause, the driver surprisingly agreed. "All right, I'm heading that way anyway." Hop on. Climbing onto the bike, Diep felt a wave of gratitude. Just a little further, and she would finally be in James's arms again. But life isn't always kind. After a ride down muddy roads and winding paths, the driver suddenly stopped and coldly said, "Your money only gets you this far." "Get off." Diep froze. "What do you mean? You said you'd take me all the way home. I've given you everything I have." The man's face hardened. "Well, I changed my mind. Pay more if you want to go further." Desperate, Diep searched her pockets but had no more money. The man took back the helmet, gestured for her to get off, and left her alone on the deserted road. The wind whispered, and Diep's heart sank. Not everyone is kind. Not everyone offers help when it's needed most. Alone and overwhelmed, she sat by the roadside, tears streaming down her face. Yet, she reminded herself she had come so far. James was not much further ahead. Even if her legs could barely carry her, she would keep going. And then, out of the silence, she heard a voice calling her name, Diep. It was James. A reunion against all odds. There he was, standing just a few steps away, his eyes filled with emotion. For a moment, even he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Diep ran toward him, instinctively throwing herself into his arms, as if letting go might mean losing him again. All the sorrow, the nights of crying alone, came rushing out in that moment. James held her tight, as though making up for every day she had wandered alone. He whispered, "You've been through so much." Diep nodded silently, her tears still falling. She no longer had to be strong. She had found her place, and it was in his arms. The power of family and forgiveness. As they stood in the quiet of their reunion, Officer Lee and Officer Duck, who had helped James search tirelessly, stood in the distance, quietly observing. They knew this moment belonged to James and Diep alone. Later, James helped Diep onto the motorbike, whispering softly, "Let's go home." I won't let you get lost again. The bike rolled forward, carrying them away from the rough road behind and toward a peaceful, comforting home. When they arrived, James's mother was waiting for them. Diep had arrived home, her heart no longer heavy with loneliness. James's mother welcomed her with open arms, pulling her into a loving embrace. "You're not alone anymore," she whispered.